welcome back to Dolls Amok. It's time for another unboxing, and this is one I'm really excited about and I've been waiting for a long time. I am going to unbox Raquel Reyes, the American Girl of the Year for 2026. She just arrived today. I ordered her the moment basically that she came out. I have loved her and her collection since the leaks earlier this year, so I'm really excited. So let's get to it. So you can see my little welcoming committee here. I have a couple special dolls to help with this big moment. And of course in the middle, this is my beautiful Kavi doll who I renamed Emily. This is my beautiful Joss doll who I renamed Nina. And this is Cressida. She's actually an Oh Dear custom doll. She was made from a Nikki Hoffman, and she is just a lovely fall doll that I've really been enjoying lately. So they're here to help unbox the new Girl of the Year. Now, first of all, I just want to point out that this is a really large box. I have inside here the doll herself and all her outfits. I love her collection so much. I knew that I would love it when I first saw the leaks back whenever that was. So I fully expected to buy the entire collection. However, when everything came out last Wednesday, I did decide to hold off on the accessory sets and give myself time. It was really tempting, but I decided to prioritize the outfits and of course the doll, and just to hold off on those things to give myself a little time about, thinking about if I really want them, what I would use them for. They're adorable. It was especially tempting with the summer treat set, but I just decided, we're moving out of summer, we're moving into fall and the colder season, so it's definitely not a high priority for me right now. As an adult, I don't really use the accessories a lot except for display, but there is still something so childlike about them and they just make me so happy, and her collection is just so nice and so well done. So we'll see. I may get other things in the future. What I'm going to do today is go ahead and unbox the doll, and I will show the outfits in the boxes, but I will leave the unboxing of the outfits for a separate video. Hopefully I'll get that video up also in the next day or two so you can see those and decide, what you want to do as far as those purchases. Today we're just going to unbox the doll herself, so let's get to that. Okay, it's been a long time since I've had this big of an order, but I was saving for her. I kind of knew that I would pretty much get everything in her collection, so this wasn't actually impulsive. So we've got lots of things in here. Look at all that goodness. So exciting. Let's just start pulling things out. So exciting. So here is her gorgeous summer outfit. What is it called? Her beach outfit. Love the colors. Love the style. So fun. What else? Oh, so cute. Okay, it's her pickleball set. I'm excited to see that. So there's her pickleball. I did get the accessories. I was kind of on the fence because I like the bag that comes with her party dress better than the bag that comes in her accessories, but I love the locket, and I just decided the locket pushed me over. Really indifferent about the glasses, but I thought she should have her locket, so I went ahead and got the accessories. These are the pickleball accessories. I know they're separate. I consider them sort of part of the pickleball outfit, so I did get this accessory set. So many things. Here is her gorgeous beach party dress. This was my favorite thing in her collection besides the doll herself. I love that so much. Here are her pajamas. So cute. Oh, the color scheme, sort of this mint green with the pink. It's so pretty. Love it. And this I didn't really get for her. I just got to add to my order because I didn't like it when it first came out, but it's been growing on me and it just has this kind of fall vibe. And I thought it might be really cute for Raquel, so I went ahead and added that. So like I said, we will be opening outfits and the couple of small accessory sets that I got with them in a separate video, so look for that later this week. But now's the big moment. Here we go, and there she is. So exciting. Oh my goodness, the presentation is so beautiful. Look at this box. So pretty. Oh my goodness. Look at this gorgeous girl. There is her box. Raquel. There is her lovely face. So pretty. Let me bring her a little closer to the camera here. Hopefully you can see her there in her box. So gorgeous. So exciting. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm going to set up a slightly better camera angle and be right back. Okay, before we take her out, I just need to appreciate her in her box because this is really special, especially with the Girl of the Year. There's the whole aesthetic, the whole kind of appeal, the packaging, how the doll is presented. It's just really special and I don't want to rush through it. So I love her box. I don't really need this new thing, newer that they've been doing recently of having a picture of the doll in the box. I find it completely redundant because you should be able to see the doll through the window. So I don't know why we're doing that, but I think her colors, her scheme with the bows and this minty blue, it's really more of a blue than a green, and the beautiful soft pink is so pretty. Love her little logo down there, so cute. So let me see this doll that they sent me, and yeah, she's a really pretty one. I think I'm not super picky, but I think she's a really pretty one. It looks like I got one with a more round, fuller face. As some other collectors have pointed out, the Joss face mold has a thinner variation and a fuller variation. I will be comparing her today to a couple other Joss face mold dolls, and one of them has the thinner and one has the fuller, so you can see that for yourself. I would say she is definitely more on the round side. I like them both, no big deal. She does have the beautiful light brown decal eyes. To me, they're really not a light brown, they're more of just a very warm brown. These are the same eyes as Tenny. They first debuted with Tenny, and then we saw them in number 86. We saw them in Tiana, and who else have we seen them in recently? I feel like I'm forgetting somebody, but these eyes have been available in a few other dolls. Of course, they're still available in the Create Your Own generator, so you can also create your own dolls with these eyes. There are some really good comparison pictures between her and Maritza that are showing up on Instagram. I read some comments from some collectors who felt that she was way too similar to Maritza, that she's not unique enough. I can't say that I agree. I feel like the difference of the eyes is pretty striking. The difference of the hairstyle and the hair color and the length of the hair is striking. I feel like she is her own distinct person. I think the lighter eyes and the lack of shading around her eyes, they both have painted on lashes, but Maritza has that extra kind of line of shading around the eyes, and I feel like that makes a big difference in making the dolls seem a little bit more made up and a little older. All right, enough talking. Let's get her out of here. Here we go. I love this box. It's so pretty. Can't put it on the floor. It's just too pretty. We have to display that. Okay, so the first thing we have is her journal. I guess she comes with a journal. This is the new thing American Girl is doing, not a full-length book, but a journal. I will glance through this. I'll probably read it. It's going to be very easy to read, and I'll enjoy that, kind of seeing their concept for the character. That being said, I will rename her and make her my own girl. No disrespect intended toward her or any of the other dolls. This is just what I do and how I play with dolls. I always have to make them my own. Okay, let's see her in the box before taking her out. Here we go. Look at this gorgeous girl, so pretty. I was really excited to discover that the meat outfit is actually two separate pieces. That is so fun. And I think I really ripped into platform shoes in another recent video when I was opening an outfit, or maybe it was Truly Me 134. But I guess platform shoes are the rage now. I have to say her shoes are perfection, so I forgive them for being platform shoes. Look at this girl though. Look how beautiful she is. So I love the high contrast with the super dark brown hair. I would say it's just shy of being actually black. I love, love, love the light brown eyes in the Joss face mold. That is so pretty. And we have not seen that before, so that's really nice. And I just want to say right there, having that really high contrast hair color and the light brown eyes in the Joss face mold is unique. That is unique to this doll, so I feel like that's quite enough. It's interesting that she does have the very almost terracotta orange coloring on her lips. It's rose, but it's like on the warm side. It's definitely not a cool pink like her dress. I find that interesting that they kept that. I did see a comparison, like I said, of her and Maritza, and they both appeared to have the same lip color. I wasn't crazy about it on Maritza, but honestly, nothing about this doll is bothering me. She is just so beautiful. So let's get this gorgeous girl out of here. So I'm really looking forward to choosing a name for her to be in my collection. They always get their own name just to sort of set them apart from the American Girl fandom and the American Girl lore, and to make them my own doll and not just like the same doll that everybody else has. Okay. Oh, she's so pretty. So pretty. Okay, here she is, all unsnipped. I will put the box aside, but first we need to get her bracelet out. They did tape the bracelet that she comes with in the side of the box, so I'm just going to go ahead and snip that out. Like that. Okay, there's her bracelet, and now I can put the box aside. Here is the doll. Look at her. Look at her being so beautiful. Ah! So yes, I feel like she's quite unique. I don't get it. I don't understand the criticism that she's too similar to other dolls. I love comparisons. As you know, if you've watched any of my other videos, I will be doing some comparing. I don't have Maritza. I never cared for her overall look, but I will compare her to 122. We will just compare her to Miss Kavi and a couple other dolls as well, and you can see what you think and then tell me in the comments, how do you feel her uniqueness? I know that each Girl of the Year is supposed to stand apart, but do they really have to be like totally distinctive in their own right? Why can't they just be their own character? So I'm curious to hear your comments. So I'm just adjusting this beautiful little square neckline because she's got it off to one side there. That's a little better. So I love her look. She looks very young and childlike and kind of girlish. She looks very hopeful and I would say exuberant and extroverted. So those are all lovely qualities. Let's just appreciate this gorgeous outfit. So of course everybody knows this is a nod to Samantha's gingham dress or gingham taffeta. Is it gingham or is it just a plaid? I'm not really sure what the official, type of fabric that is. But I love these little bows. Look at this little bow. Isn't that just the cutest? Isn't that adorable? There's her little hair bow on top. And it does look like the hair bow's under the hairnet, so we don't have to disturb it. There's the other little bow on the other side. And then she has these cute little bows on her shoes here and here. So cute. And the shoes are great. I am still not a fan of platform shoes. And I just don't really care for the clunkiness, but on her, like I said, nothing about this doll is going to bother me. She is just so beautiful. Oh my gosh, I love her. She's so the best Girl of the Year that we've had in a while. I just think this girl is so pretty and so special. So I think it's time to take the hairnet off, but first let me show you the little bracelet. She does come with this little plastic bracelet. It's made to look like metal. It's metallic and shiny, but it's just plastic. I wish that, we could go back to the days where things like this were a little bit more nice materials, but given everything, that's not going to happen. So it's a little bow. Bow is obviously her theme. I will go ahead and pop it on her wrist like this. I have no problem with putting the hard plastic on the vinyl. I don't expect my dolls to stay perfect, so. Oh my gosh, she's just so pretty. That high contrast is just blowing me away. So I am going to go ahead and take this off. It's loose here, so I'm going to go ahead and grab it up here. I didn't get her ears pierced because the ear piercing is so expensive now. I didn't really need to add any more expense. So I just went without. I do think that a little extra bling on this doll would be awesome. So here she is with her hair down. Look at that hair. This is exactly the hair I wanted in life. Like, I ended up with this totally other type of hair that I never would have asked for, but this is so beautiful. Just this long, straight, shiny, like dark brown, almost black brunette hair is so pretty. So I'm going to do the little ponytail test. I would say it's moderately thick. It's good. It's not the thickest. It's not the thinnest. I will say that right off the bat, her hair does feel a little dry, which is a little weird. It's a little off-putting. I'm a little disappointed by that. I wish that it was more shiny. I feel like my Kavi's hair is a better material. Yeah, I'm not sure what that's about. There's no curl in her hair, so it shouldn't really be dry. I'm hoping, and it is shedding as usual. I'm hoping that when I brush it, it'll just feel a little softer. but not my favorite material for the hair, so that might, you know, take her overall rating from me down from an A plus to just an A. She's too beautiful to complain about anything, but I do wish that the hair was a little shinier. It's like a little bit more matte, and it just doesn't have like the slickest texture. So that's interesting. She's too beautiful. So yes, I think we've looked at the details. So we have this ruching on the front of the dress, which looks really nice. I don't know how it'll hold up over time. This is an elastic thread that they use for that, so I hope it does hold up. I love the color scheme. So pretty. It's actually like an off-white with the plum and the pink, and then there's like softer plum and pink running the opposite direction. So pretty. I love the puff sleeves. I love the bows. Cute little bow on top. That's adorable. Love the shoes. So cute. Look, this little ruffle here too. I love this because you can actually mix and match this. You could put this with a blouse or with a sweater. And then you could definitely pair this top with jeans or slacks or another skirt like of a darker color. So that's really nice. I love that they gave us that versatility. She is just so gorgeous. Oh, so pretty. Wow, so stunning. So I'm going to bring her a little closer to the camera so you can see her face up close. Hopefully my camera will cooperate with us here. So yeah, you can see those beautiful light brown eyes. Again, the same as the Peaches and Cream. That's the other one I was trying to remember. Same as the Josefina mold Peaches and Cream, same as Tiana, same as 86, same as Tenny. Beautiful decal light brown eyes. There's her bow. Beautiful face paint. So unlike Maritza, this is what I was talking about. I don't have Maritza, but if you look at comparison photos, you can see that Maritza actually has like shading, like almost eyeshadow right around the eye underneath the painted on lashes. So while they both have the painted on lashes, she doesn't have the extra eyeshadow, and I think that makes all the difference as far as making her look more youthful, more like a little girl, and a little less tweenish. Oh my goodness, so pretty. Okay, so I think I'm going to go ahead and get a brush and brush out her hair just a little bit because it is shedding, and then I will set up some comparisons. Okay, here are our first couple of comparisons. Beautiful Miss Raquel with Kavi on this side and with 122 on this side. So this was one of my two favorite Truly Me dolls when Truly Me was completely revamped in the fall of 2022. And so she's been around for 3 years now. And then we have Kavi, who looks a lot like Raquel as far as coloring, but has a different face mold. So let's just look at a few of those differences. So starting with Miss 122 over here, she has the same face mold. She has the Joss face mold. However, right off that you will see, obviously 122 has bangs and she has perfectly straight, slick brown hair with light brown highlights. So visually, to me, they're totally different. They're completely distinct from each other. Not only that, we have a much more muted face paint. We actually have a different face tone. These are different mediums. This is the more grayer neutral undertone medium. This is the more warm undertone medium. And then of course we have the eye difference, which is quite striking. They both have the painted on lashes, but 122 has the regular dark brown eyes and these are the light brown decal eyes. So I would say the overall effect of Raquel is strikingly different from 122. I don't think if you have 122 there is really any comparison between the two. They both have brown eyes, yes. They both have the Joss face mold, yes, but they have totally different brown eyes. They have totally different hairstyles. They have actually completely different coloring. They are radically different dolls. I do not see too much of a similarity there. As far as Raquel and Kavi, I would say that despite the difference of the face mold, these two girls have an overall similar look. They both have the beautiful dark brown, almost black, like to the eye black hair. They both have that high contrast with the dark hair and the medium skin. They both have brown eyes and they both have rosy lip colors. I will point out that Raquel's lip color is much brighter and her lips are more full. Obviously the eye color is totally different. Kavi, like 122, has the regular dark brown eyes, the pinwheel eyes. She has different eyebrows. They are darker. They are the thick brush shape, whereas she has the eyebrows that we saw on Maritza. And I would say even the hair, even though the hair color is very similar, the hair length is different. We have her be more like a medium length. I mean, it's a long medium. It comes right to her waist. We have Raquel's come way down. This is definitely long hair. Yes, they are both straight hair wigs, but we do have a side part. It's a hard side part, which is disguised by the hairstyle she comes in, but the side part is right over here, over her right eyebrow. And we have a middle part on Kavi. So again, yes, they are similar. I would say these two are similar in appearance. However, we have the Marie Grace face mold, we have the Joss face mold. That's pretty different right there. We have different brown eye colors, and the hair parts, the hair lengths are different. So there you go. That's my 2 cents on that comparison. Okay, here we have another couple of dolls that to me were similar enough that I wanted to compare them to beautiful Miss Raquel. Here we have Truly Me 134. This is the recent addition to the Truly Me lineup. This is one of the long hair looks dolls. She's a Josefina face mold. She has medium skin. However, the medium skin is the neutral undertone. It's not as warm. She does have almost like a sparkly rosy lip color, but it's not as bright as Miss Raquel's. She has these standard dark brown eyes. She does have the painted on lashes. She has lighter brown brush eyebrows. Interestingly, they are not as dark as Raquel's eyebrows, and they are a different shape. And then I would say her hair doesn't appear as dark because it's a blend of colors. We actually have more of an overall chocolate brown look. It doesn't look quite as black. I don't know if the camera is picking this up, but it does have a lot of chocolate brown streaking the darker brown in here, so it definitely has more of a brown effect and less of a black effect. So that just reduces the contrast just a little smidge. And of course the different face mold, Josefina and Joss. So there you go, that's that comparison. Over here we have a doll that may not be quite as well known now. This doll is a Truly Me 66. She came out in 2016. I always loved 66. I got her when she came out. I just really love that they gave us kind of like a modern Josefina. And so she visually has some similarities to this girl. She does have pretty much the same shade of black brown hair. She has medium skin as well. She does have the Josefina face mold and the Joss, so these two are the same face mold, and this of course is the Joss. You will really notice the more gray skin tone here. She looks so much more cool in tone than Raquel's warm tan. And then of course she does have the dark brown eyes. 66 had a unique eyebrow shape that I believe only the Girl of the Year Grace shares. So they have between them this really heavy short brush, which I find very attractive. So there you go. We have Truly Me 134, Truly Me 66, and Raquel. I would say if you have either of these dolls, overall, is there a similarity? Yes, the coloring is similar, but I still feel like there's enough differences that these are all distinct dolls. I would say especially here, there's not a lot of overlap. The eyes are different, the hair color and style with the middle part is different, and we have the different face mold. Here, visually, like with Kavi and Raquel, there's a little bit more of a similarity because of the high contrast hair. However, we have that length difference, just like we have with Kavi. And then we have the face mold difference, the skin tone difference, the eyebrow difference, the eye color difference. If you ask me, that's perfectly enough of a difference. Okay, and today we have one final comparison here. We have two other Joss face mold dolls to compare with Miss Raquel. So this is of course Joss herself. This is the one I unboxed earlier this year, and yes, I have a video of me unboxing her. She had a head replacement at the AG hospital, so I don't know how old her head is versus the doll herself. Obviously Joss came out in 2020, so she can't be really that old. However, you will notice that the face is pretty different. The Joss face mold has really changed over the years, and you will see her face is a little more rectangular, and then she has the slightly more flat and more almond shaped eyes, whereas Raquel has the wider, more round shape. If you think about it this way, you can kind of see the entire iris on Raquel and you cannot on Joss herself. So that's interesting. Of course, these are the original brush eyebrows that the Truly Me dolls had for a long time. And of course, totally different skin tones. And then Joss has her marvelous, streaky, layered, sleek brown hair. So very different dolls, different brown eyes, different skin tones, different hair colors. To me, I do not see the same doll at all there. I hope you don't either. I think they're quite distinct. Over here, this is, like I said at the beginning of the video, this is a custom Nikki Hoffman doll made by Oh Dear Custom Dolls. She has been given a red wig and she has hazel eyes. However, she still does have Nikki Hoffman's eyebrows. So right off, I just want to point out that the eyebrow shape here, and I think this is same for her twin Isabel, is the same. This is the same eyebrow shape, so that's kind of cool. I didn't know that. I would say the overall face shape is the same. I would say she's on the rounder side. She's like on the thinner, more rectangular side of the Joss face mold, and she has a little bit, it's not the roundest I've seen, but it's a little rounder than the original Joss. And I would say face shape wise, they're quite similar. Oh Dear Custom Doll does do lip gloss on her dolls, so this lip gloss is not original, but I believe the color of her lips is, and it's actually quite similar. But different skin tone. Obviously, as a custom doll, she has totally different hair, she's totally different eyes, but same face mold, very different doll. So if we want to get all 4 Joss mold dolls that I have out, let me bring 122 out into the party again, and we can just do all 4 Joss dolls. Okay, so we have Joss herself. The original Joss mold, that's why it's called the Joss mold, debuted with Joss in 2020, and the most recent Girl of the Year has the Joss mold again, and that's Raquel Reyes. And then we have beautiful Truly Me 122, which was really exciting when the Joss mold came out in the fall of 2022 in the Truly Me line. They made it available in, I think, was it 2 separate dolls? There was 122, and then there's the other one I can never remember the number of. Is it 121? I think it might be 121. Anyway, it was so exciting to have the Joss mold available in the Truly Me lineup. And then this is Nikki Hoffman, who has been customized. So there you go. That's kind of fun. And I also wanted to point out, I think I forgot to mention that to me, this particular 122 has a really narrow face, more like the original Joss. The eye shape is different. It's rounder on her and less round over here, but the face is really narrow. So if you hear people talking, like other collectors talking about whether their Raquel has a round face or a narrow face, this is what they're talking about. This would be more of a narrow rectangular version of the Joss mold. I think to my eye, this Nikki has a little bit more of a round face, but it's disguised by this wig, so you can't see it as well. And I would say my Raquel is the rounder. It's definitely not, I don't know, without seeing them at the store, it's hard to know which one I got, but I feel like her face is a little bit more round and less rectangular than, say, her. But definitely, if you're not seeing it that way, let me know in the comments. I'm curious to know what you think. So there are the 4 Joss molds that we're comparing today. All right, thank you so much for joining me today. If you like this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button and definitely consider subscribing. So I'm really excited about my Raquel doll. I'm really excited to choose a name for her to kind of make her my own. And I love the overall aesthetic. I feel like for me, the Girls of the Year dolls always kind of retain the aesthetic that American Girl created for them. And sometimes I like that and sometimes I don't. So I really love that this girl has the Hispanic tie-in. I think that's awesome. We need more diversity in American Girl. I think she's absolutely gorgeous. So I will be opening all of those outfits and accessories that I showed at the beginning of the video in a separate video, hopefully in the next few days. So definitely watch for that to go up. I hope to do a fashion show with this beautiful girl as well, so we can test her in a wider range of things. But I'm going to start with the unboxing of her outfits and then go from there. Yes, let me know. Are you planning to get Raquel? Do you feel like she is too similar to other recent dolls? Do you feel like she's distinct? I think she's totally distinct. I feel like she's the most exciting Girl of the Year basically since Kavi. So let me know what you think in the comments. I will see you in the next video. Thanks for joining me. Bye!